All right. Good morning again, y'all. 5:06. We have chest and back today. Fly bench, bent over rows, incline flies, and finishing with lat pull downs. So, continue to do push pull. I'm usually hitting everything twice a week in some fashion, trying to get 8 to 12 sets for that muscle group. If you're new to the channel, I recently changed up my programming a little bit. So now instead of like 6 to 8 reps on accessories and stuff, I've changed it to 10 to 12. And on flat bench, I'm actually going to do the same thing. Just because I have a left shoulder injury or arm injury that kind of prevents me from, once I get to higher weight, it just hurts instead of actually being able to focus on using my chest to do the lift. I'm just focusing on pushing through what pain I have. And so it kind of makes the lift useless to me. So we're switching out, moving over to lighter weight, higher reps, just to kind of work on putting on, getting to hypertrophy, putting on more size. I'm doing a cut right now, which is, I know, kind of counterintuitive, but trying to get down to probably 185, 190. I'm at 203 right now. I was at 206, and so just, it's just a process, trial and error, to see what works for me and what doesn't. But I'm excited to get at it. Let's get into the Word again. We're in Acts 7 still. We're going to be finishing that up today and getting into a little bit of 8, which is awesome and great as well. Just to kind of recap for those that maybe didn't see the other videos, we're talking about a guy named Stephen. He is talking to leaders, Israelite leaders, basically talking about how they have not been living their lives according to Christ's word or Moses' word. And he even goes to, he calls them stiff-necked people, basically saying that they have been living their lives as if the word was like a certain law that they had to follow to maintain cleanness on the outside. Where, like, you may have read before where they talk about how eating food, if you didn't wash your hands, made you unclean. But then they're like, actually, no. Following the word and what comes out of your heart is what can make you unclean. So they're not following the word or Jesus or prophets or anything like that with their heart. They're doing it with their mind by just trying to be legalistic. And so Stephen's kind of pointing out these things, and they didn't like it. And so we pick up on chapter 7, verse 54. He says, "Now when they had heard these things, they were enraged, and they ground their teeth at him. But he, full of the Holy Spirit, gazed into heaven and saw the glory of God, and Jesus standing at the right hand of God. And he said, Behold, I see the heavens opened, and the Son of Man standing at the right hand of God. But they cried out with a loud voice, and stopped their ears, and rushed together at him." So they were so against hearing what made sense, what was right, what was righteous, that they literally just shut off their ability to hear it and just attacked in rage. Then they cast him out of the city and stoned him. And the witnesses laid down their garments at the feet of a young man named Saul. And as they were stoning Stephen, he called out, "Lord Jesus, receive my spirit." And falling to his knees, he cried out with a loud voice, "Lord, do not hold this sin against them." And when he had said this, he fell asleep. So you might kind of recognize a little bit of symbolism there, where he says, "Lord, do not hold this sin against them." Jesus did the same thing when he was being crucified on the cross. He was like, "These people do not know what they do. Please forgive them." And that's a powerful thing when someone does something against us. It may be malicious or it may be accidental. And a lot of times we take such offense and we're on such a defense that we forget to live as Christ did, which is forgiving those who have wronged us, turning the other cheek, you may have heard, and just still loving them as Christ loves us. And that's a big challenge, especially in this day and age. I feel like a lot of people are always on guard and on defense, and not being able to see the bigger picture or look to Christ for strength to forgive these people, and to show them love still. And that's the challenge we have as Christians. So I'm going to continue on here to chapter 8. We're talking about Saul ravages the church. And Saul approved of his execution. And there arose on that day great persecution against the church in Jerusalem. And they were all scattered throughout the regions of Judea and Samaria, except the apostles. Devout men buried Stephen and made great lamentations over him. But Saul was ravaging the church, and entering house after house, he dragged off men and women and committed them to prison. So basically, anyone that he thought was Christians or believed in Jesus, they were being taken out of their homes, put in prison. And this happens wildly enough to this day in a lot of countries. And so we have it so free here, the ability to do this, where if someone was trying to read the word and spread it to other people, they would be persecuted. And that's what was happening to these people. This is verse 4. Now those who were scattered went about preaching the word. Philip went down to the city of Samaria and proclaimed to them the Christ. And the crowds with one accord paid attention to what was being said by Philip. When they heard him and saw the signs that he did, for unclean spirits crying out with a loud voice came out of many who had them. And many who were paralyzed or lame were healed. So there was much joy in that city. So we get to read more about Paul in chapter 9. That's a pretty powerful thing that's going to be coming up with his testimony, we'll call it. And so it's just cool to kind of see, even after persecution, there was people like Philip, and we'll read more like other individuals that step up and still, even though they're being persecuted, proclaim Jesus. And so how easy is it for us, and especially in the U.S., to be able to talk about Jesus without fear of being persecuted? And a lot of times we get held back by our own fears. And recently I was like, I need to do something different. And this is why I'm doing this. I'm trying to be bold, just help spread the word of Jesus. And hopefully I can reach someone, and that might be you. And you might think about picking up a Bible, saying a prayer, and starting a relationship with God, or trying to figure out what that even means. And if that is you, leave a comment, and I'd love to be able to reach out to you and kind of maybe help guide you or answer any questions you may have. But great stuff. We'll be continuing Acts again tomorrow in chapter 8, and just getting more into the Word. So thank you for joining. We're going to get into some chest and back, and we'll see you all later. Now, I talked about this, I think, in my first video, but especially anything that has to deal with shoulders, make sure you warm up plenty and get them all warmed up, loosened up, just because if you go in stiff and don't properly loosen or warm up your shoulders, it's a good way to have injury. The rotator cuff and everything else is very susceptible to those. It feels more so than any other muscle group, and so I always do a little bit of band work, loosen up, get stretched out. I just get blood flow going into my shoulders and my chest. I'll do some iso holds for warming up my rear delts. Get them firing up. Just grab a band, keep your arms to your sides, use your rear delts to pull it apart. You can do like face pulls, light shoulder presses, band work like this, light cable work, something to get them woke up, warmed up, loosened up. And I'm not pre-exhausting. I'm just making sure there's blood flow. Like I can already feel my elbows a little, elbow arm, a little sore today. Which generally anytime I'm doing bench or anything like that, it will be. Get a nice little morning warm-up set. Just gonna see where we're at. Now, I usually do 3 sets of 10 to 12 to get started. For my work, for my lift. Now, benching, you want to make sure you got good width on your hands. Not too wide, not too close. If you go close, you're going to work your triceps more. You go wide, puts all the emphasis on your chest, but changes the lift a little bit. Feet, you want firmly planted on the ground. Preferably your back dug into the bench a little bit. And a proud chest. Make sure your grip, I would recommend keeping your thumbs wrapped around the bar, but some people are crazy, so they don't. But you'll want to stack your joints, so once you lift it off, your wrist is stacked over your arms, so on and so forth. When you come down, try to come down at like a 45-degree angle, and it's like just under your nipple line, and then when you press up, it's back up towards your head. Feels good. Feel good. So on bench, especially with the 10 to 12, just kind of feeling out how my body feels. But I'm trying to find good weight range for this. Something that's challenging to get to 12 reps where I'm almost a failure. I'm going off percentages for my 1 rep max, so anywhere between 50 and 60% is where I like to try to start, just to kind of see how I feel. This is, I think, 60%. I just added another 5 to each side, and we'll see how this feels. If it is the right weight, we'll keep it. If not, we'll change it up on the next set. Oh, felt pretty good. I definitely had like RPE 2 or 3 there, which a lot closer to the weight I want for that. So we might take off the 5s, put on 10s, run it back, see how that goes. Might set it up as a drop set. So actually I might just add another 5 on each side, get to failure, and then push for some more. Really trying to push my chest to hypertrophy to get some growth. It's actually my weakest point. So we'll run that back and grow our chest. Let's go. All right. Last set on chest. Flat bench anyway. Then we'll go into some rows and incline dumbbell flies, lat pull downs. Let's go. to a drop set. One of two, possibly. Let's drop it again. That feels so good. I might even rock this one out to failure. But then you have to drop the weight on you. It's alright. It's only 135 pounds. It'll be alright. Oh yeah. Oh. That's a good chest pump. Oh. I love it when I can feel the correct muscle being worked. A lot of times with bench, I have a problem, especially with flat bench, of losing focus, of driving it up with my chest. And I start doing triceps. It kind of overpowers the lift. Then my left shoulder acts up. So it's really good. Get into a little bit lighter weight instead of doing reps at 200 plus, to really focus on the contraction of my chest and just burning it out. We'll see you for some rows. Alright, so now we got some bent over rows. You can kind of do two different variations of this. One's called the pin lay row, where each time you come down, touch it to the ground, then pull it up. Other ones, you just hang and hold it in the air still. I'm going to use straps because I don't want my back or my forearms giving out before my back does. So let's just make it make sense. I need to figure out, let's just say times 0.55. Good starting weight. I think we're going to throw on, let's just throw on a 10 on the side. See how that goes. Remember, we're trying to get 10 to 12, getting close to failure, if not at failure, which with bent over rows, you can get closer to failure, or to failure actually, and not really have to worry about injury or anything. So there's really no point in not. I hate when little weights bounce around. So I'm going to go ahead and throw on some clips. I'll give you guys two different views of this. I'll just do the front view first and then give you a rear view of what that looks like. Same kind of thing though. I do like a shoulder width grip or stance. And do my hands just outside my legs. And then we'll get at it. 10 to 12, 3 sets. I feel pretty good. Just hit 13. Looking crazy. Probably had RPE2 in there, maybe 3, with still some good form. But I'm going to go up and wait on set 2 and go from there. I'll be back. Alright, so give you a rear view what this looks like as far as the rows go. Now, when you're doing the rows, if your lower back feels like it's getting worked too much, do the Pendlay rows where you set the weight on the ground, then pull it up. It takes that tension off your lower back because you're not just trying to hold up that weight as well. So just fill it out, see what feels good to you, and adjust. Now, we did deadlifts yesterday, so my lower back's pretty shot. So I might try the Pendlay this round. So, like that. Felt pretty good. Might go up late and wait a little bit, knock out the third set. Alright, so, last set. Let's go to failure. See what rep that looks like. If I can get this to 15 or whatever with failure, still using good form, just means next week I'll go up and wait. Progressive overload. I don't want to keep doing the same weight over and over and over and over. Now, 2 ways of doing it. If you get to your max rep range, so 12, 15, whatever your goal is, and you can get to that without really getting to failure, and you're doing 3 sets, try 4 sets if you don't want to go up and wait. So next week, instead of doing 3, do 4 sets. If that 4th set, same thing, 12, 15, not really getting close to failure, or you're just right almost there, bump it up 5 pounds the next week, 2.5 on each side, or you can go 10 pounds, 5 pounds each side, and just see what happens. If you don't keep pushing yourself on increasing weight, reps, you're going to stay stagnant and you're not going to get that growth you want. So just get dangerous with it. Okay, not bad. 13. Might go up and wait next week. We're at a 4th set. We'll see. But due to timing, we're going to run into incline dumbbell flies, lat pull downs, and I'm going to superset those to make sure I'm getting both muscle groups in due to timing. No, it's not optimal for trying to make sure that muscle gets enough rest and going for hypertrophy with heavier weight. But sometimes you gotta call an audible and super. Okay. We're gonna see how the 30s feel. Incline dumbbell fly. Trying to keep pressure off my shoulder joints and off my delts. So keep an elbow bend when you are going to the eccentric, the down. So that way you're keeping tension on your chest. Get a good stretch and feel that muscle growth. Let's go. Probably go 35s the next time. Still trying to keep it around the 12 reps. Not that I didn't feel that, but I want to get closer to failure on rep 12 instead of pushing to 15 plus. This is like cardio for me. I haven't been doing heavy lifts with high reps for a long time. That was good. Well, I had to push for that 12th one. Alright. Let's run that back. Same weights. Alright. Nothing crazy. Let's grab the 35s. Do some incline chest flies. Supersetted by lat pull downs. Final set. So we want to push to failure. Let's go. Oh, that felt good. Alright. Sweaty mess. Let's knock this out. Give it everything we've got. Finish this strong. You gotta remember, if you're not training like Vegeta or Goku, are you even training? Good stuff. Man. Let's do 2 more. I don't want to be done yet. I feel like I have more in the tank. Okay. Now I'm satisfied. Good lift. Felt good. Definitely a good pump. Can't wait to see what 185, 190 looks like. That's for sure. Cut for the summer. And start another. Man. 3 to 6 month bulk. I think with the improved calorie, macro, and sets, this next bulk's gonna be sick. I might start losing a little strength right now over the next month or 2 due to cutting. You just won't always be as strong because you're at a calorie deficit. But so far, still feeling pretty good. And just ready to see what those gains look like. But thanks for being here. Y'all have a great day, and God bless.